What's up, people? Welcome back to the Boxing Objective. Now today's video is going to be about the multi-talented young man by the name of kSI. Now before we get into this subject, I just wanted to let you guys know at the 200 subscriber mark, I'm going to be giving away a whole slew of boxing related prizes. Now all you got to do to enter the competition is to like, subscribe and leave a comment, and once you've left a comment I'll have your name and I'll be able to put it into a hat. It's the luck of the draw, people, and at the 200 subscriber mark I will be announcing the lucky winners. Now it just takes a moment just to subscribe and just to comment. It will help with the visibility of the show and it will help with the algorithm as well, as I try to help our community grow. Much appreciated all the support so far, guys, and I hope to bring you more and more content as time passes by. So
I, kSI, have partnered with the Sauerland brothers, Wasserman Boxing and Proper Loud to create my own boxing promotion.
So kSI rose to fame as a YouTuber. I think him and his brother just started to post videos of them playing video games and people started to find it entertaining, and he grew and grew and grew to be this YouTuber with tens of millions of subscribers and followers and stuff. He then went on to start his own music career. He did the whole YouTuber boxing thing, having 2 fights with Logan Paul, 1 draw and 1 win. And now, as he said, he's starting his own boxing promotional company. The Sauerlands are working towards becoming the next big major power in boxing. And when Matchroom left Sky Sports, I half expected the Sauerlands to be the ones to take their place and start to try and build something new there. But they haven't as yet. And I think ESPN have now partnered with Sky Sports, with top ranked shows being broadcasted there. With what Matchroom built at Sky Sports, I do suspect that it's not going to be an easy thing for Sky Sports to, replace Matchroom once they've gone. So who knows? There could be a thing going on where they're working with multiple people just to try and keep Sky Sports boxing alive. The video I did previously about Mayweather versus Logan Paul, I spoke briefly about Jake Paul and how he signed a multi-fight deal with Showtime, and it's obvious that they see the value in this whole YouTuber boxing thing, and this is just more of the same. And my opinion about the whole YouTuber boxing thing applies to this also, because I do think it's a good thing. It looks as if they're just going to be promoting kind of YouTuber boxing events with people from, stars from social media, YouTube and TikTok and all these kind of people. And who knows, maybe they're going to start organizing and being involved in some exhibitions. Now the funny thing is that a lot of the major names in MMA are probably looking at what's going on there and seeing the potential to make a lot of money. I mean, that's the only reason why Tyrone Woodley's fighting Jake Paul, is for the money. It's amazing that Ben Askren could be in UFC for as long as he did, and his biggest payday came fighting a YouTuber. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. But hey, it is what it is, and you can't blame these guys for trying to go out there and get their money. You do what you got to do. At the end of the day, you're a prize fighter, and you got to make sure you go out there and fight for your prizes. Straight up, it is about the money. These people want things to sell. They want to put bums in seats. They want to sell the pay-per-views. They just want to make money. That's what they want to do. Obviously, they have a lot of passion for the sport, but at the end of the day, they've got to try and put things out there that's going to sell. And we all know that these guys, these YouTubers, have got tens of millions of followers. All they have done with this whole YouTube boxing thing is open up boxing to a new audience, a new massive audience. And I find it interesting that, some people, the hardcore boxing fans, they're going to have a problem with it. But I find it bizarre because if you think about it, people get inspired by sports. People get inspired by seeing people do amazing things. And to be fair, somebody who isn't an out and out professional boxer isn't always going to venture into boxing. You know, average Joe from down the road who's not that kind of person to get in a fight or anything like that, he's not going to turn around and just go and decide to take up boxing. He might, you never know. It could happen. It's not impossible. Being inspired by somebody to go and box is like a totally different thing, isn't it? And a lot of the people who you look at now who are boxers, maybe they wasn't always that way, you know, confident and full of self-belief. And boxing could be the very thing that gave them these qualities in their personality. And I think what we have to appreciate about boxing is it's not just about combat. If you put yourself into that kind of position where you're going to have to show a lot of courage despite the presence of fear, and you know that you're going in there to fight somebody that might hurt you, but you go in there anyway, you learn a hell of a lot about yourself. You really, really do. And it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage to do anything that is challenging. It really, really does. But in particular boxing, it takes a lot of courage to step in between those ropes. And that's why I give a lot of these YouTubers their props. Because look, they really, really do not have to box. A lot of them have made a very good living and a lot of them are pretty well off. But they're choosing to do this. And I think that we should see this for what it is. We live in a new time. And social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and all these things are still relatively young to the world. And what it is creating, some of it isn't good. We all know that. We can all see what's going on there, the bad side of what's come of social media. But on the flip side of it, a lot of great things have come. And I tell you what, I just think that this can only be good for the sport. I've said it already, I'll say it again. I think it can only be good for the sport. I'll be very, very interested to see what comes of the promotions that they decide to do. I think the Sauerlands, if you don't know already, they're the guys that run the World Boxing Super Series, and I think they're now going into season 3. And if I'm honest, I'm a bit disappointed with, you know, who they've got taking part. And I can only blame the lack of talent. I don't even think there's any belts in there this time. The lack of talent and everything like that is all down to the politics that's going on. Nobody's sending their fighters over there to help these guys because these guys are trying to make their moves to, you know, create their own lane in boxing. And people don't want to break bread with them. Same thing that's happening to Matchroom in America, so on and so forth. And it's terrible, but it is what it is. We know all of this already. We know that this is going on. But honestly, you know, I think it's going to be good. It is really going to be good because imagine there's a kid out there somewhere who's the next world champion and he might have just seen kSI and that could have triggered that little bit of inspiration for him. He might have seen Anthony Joshua. He might have seen Tyson Fury. He might have seen Canelo. And that's it. That's all it takes. Imagine all of these younger generations where sports and activities has managed to keep them out of trouble. It's kept them off the street. In some instances, it's saved their life because they don't know what they would have been doing if it hadn't been for them discovering that sport. And boxing is just one of those sports. It has the ability to save and change lives. So I don't know. I think it's great. You know, I think it's absolutely great. And I tip my hat to him because, you know, the guy is really, really putting in some work. You know, there's not many people out there that's got their fingers in so many pies and trying to maintain them at a high level. So, you know, credit to him and let's see what comes of it. But hey, that's all I got to say about this subject. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.